Hello, welcome to another video. If you're new here, hello, I'm Emma. I'm an illustrator based in Sheffield and these are my daily-ish vlogs. First of all, today, I need to find some reference images for my next live drawing session. And if you don't already know, I have a Patreon page, and on that Patreon page, one of the rewards on my £1 tier is a live drawing session every month. And I need to schedule it because, you blink and the month's almost gone. So I need to get that. I think probably what I want to draw is something bright and colourful because it's pretty dreary and drizzly out there. So I was thinking something bright and colourful, and I landed on parrots. I love parrots. I love parakeets. We've got parakeets in the park up the road, and it just feels right for such a grey month. I think drawing some colourful parrots might be just the tonic that we need. So I'm going to source some images today of those. And that's first port of call. If you are interested in my Patreon, no obligation, obviously, there's no obligation at all, but you should know that Patreon is really flexible. You can join it for 1 month and cancel, or you can keep your membership rolling over. And on my £1 tier, you get access to the live drawing sessions that happen while you're a member. You get instant access to all of the other drawing sessions that we've done previously. So that's quite a few now. So you'll have instant access to that. Even if you just stay for a month, you can dig into all of those before you cancel. You get monthly downloads. So I do a downloadable desktop calendar. I do a printable calendar. This month I've done some notepads. So 2 notepad pages that you can print out. And what else did I do? A phone background and a tablet background. And you also have instant access to all of the previous ones that we've done in the past as well. Some of those will just be calendars, so they won't be any use to you. But if you look through them, some of them will have phone backgrounds and things on them. So you can also access those while you're a member. And then there's other things like polls, videos, like newsletter type things that I call my desk notes. So you get all of that for £1. And like I say, no obligation at all. But if you're interested in joining our live Zoom session, I did keep the price low on purpose because I know that everyone's struggling at the moment. And I really don't think that things like live Zoom sessions should just be available to people who have a ton of money. Because I can afford to do them a bit cheaper, I will. So, but I do completely understand, and I said this in the previous video, I do completely appreciate the fact that this, just because £1 is the cheapest that I can do them, it doesn't mean that that's necessarily cheap for you. So don't feel bad if you can't afford to, and especially if you don't want to, you don't have to. So yeah, just so you know, no problem if you can't. But if I never mention it, no one's ever going to know that I do it. And like I say, on these daily vlogs, if I'm doing anything about Patreon, it'd be silly of me not to mention it to you because that's what I'm working on today. So I'm going to maybe do like 20 minutes and then we're going to pop out to have some lunch out in the Peak District because Andy wants to get some climbing things. So we're going to go to a shop called Outside, where I used to work actually. So we're going to go out there and they've got a nice cafe. So we'll probably, if we can get a seat, have some lunch. If we can't get a seat, we'll come back because it's a bit minging out there. And I don't really want to be trailing around looking for somewhere to eat. So anyway, stay tuned. You'll find out soon enough. now we've just got a bit of shopping to do, life admin, hey? And then we'll get home and do some more stuff. Right, back in. Today's been one of those life admin days, which is fine. Needs to happen every now and then. I still need to compile my slideshow for my patrons for our live drawing session, and I'm going to get the calendar out and have a look and see what dates I've got free, and I'm going to pop a poll up on my Patreon page so my patrons can vote for the day that they want to join me for a live. I'm not going to please everyone because there's only so many days that I can do, but it's nice to give the option out there and see what the best day is for the majority of people. And if people can't make it live, all the sessions are recorded, so you can always access them later, or they can always access them later, or you can access them later if you want to join in. So I've just put the shopping away, made myself a cuppa. I'm probably going to get out of these clothes. I got changed into them earlier because it was a bit colder, but it's quite warm in the house actually, and I have no idea where winter's gone, if we ever had it. There's blossom on the trees in Sheffield. Anyway, that's another story. I might even get my pyjamas on and just slouch down on the sofa and get that slideshow ready. Because the way it works on Zoom on our live calls is I provide the images for us to draw, and we meet up on Zoom for about 40 minutes. I share my screen, go through the slideshow, and we do timed sketches. And I love timed sketches because they're not just a good way to get through a load of images in a 40-minute session, but timed sketches are like, mwah, they unlock something. They stop you worrying about the end result because they're going to be messy. This is why I called my drawing club the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club, because you're going to have scribbles in a 30-second drawing. And I don't know, I think time sketches just unlock something or it did in my brain anyway, to feel like I don't need to do everything super neat and super tidy. Sometimes scribbling stuff down is enough. So that post's been made live now with all of the date options for the next Drawing Club Zoom session. And all of my patrons get the opportunity to vote on a date. So if you'd like to join in on the live Zoom session and you'd like to get involved in picking a date or voting for a date, not everyone, obviously, like I said before, not everyone's choice will be accepted. So the date with the most votes will win. But if you would like to get involved in the poll, so if you were thinking about joining in and you would like to get involved and put your preference down for whatever date you would prefer, the poll closes on Friday the 9th of February at 1 minute to midnight, so 23:59. So yeah, so if you were thinking about joining up anyway, no obligation, but if you were thinking about joining up anyway and you wanted to give your opinion about what date it should be, get yourself signed up before Friday the 9th at 23:59, so 11:59 p.m. Then you get the opportunity to vote as well in the poll, which is always nice. Nice to have your voice heard, isn't it? So what I'm going to do for the rest of the night is finish my tea and make the slideshow of the images. I'm really looking forward to drawing the parrots. It'll be so nice to get some colour on my sketchbooks. It's so dreary at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, I am quite looking forward to them. I've compiled a bunch of images today, and I think it's going to be really good fun. They're really characterful. Yeah, I think it should be a good session. I think it should be a really good session. And also, if you do sign up and you're not able to make the live date that's chosen, don't forget you get instant access to all of the recordings. All of my sessions are recorded, and I'll be recording this live session as well. And I post up the recording as soon as possible after the live session. So it's usually about an hour later by the time the video is processed and uploaded and all that kind of stuff. So you'll be able to access it as soon as possible afterwards. A few things that you might want to know if you were ever to join in the Zoom, and you might never have joined in a drawing Zoom or anything like that before. You don't have to have your camera on. You don't have to have your mic on. I'm not going to be asking any questions or anything like that. Basically, all you need to do is turn up, bring something to draw with, bring something to draw on, and I will do the rest. You can have your camera on if you want to. It's always nice to see you in the background, but you don't have to. That's completely fine. There are loads of people who don't have their camera on. They just have their little photo or whatever, their little name up, whatever. And that's completely fine. There's no expectations that you need to interact at all. You can be as anonymous as you like. So that's one thing that I worried about when I very first started joining in other people's live Zooms. I'm like, oh, is it going to be really awkward? Is it going to be just, if I'm the first one who turns up, is it going to be someone sitting and talking to me? What if I don't want to talk? What if I'm just want to be invisible and just draw? And so that's one thing I'm bringing forward. I've learned from my own insecurities. And there's no expectation that you're going to have your camera on or your mic on or anything. There's no chit chat, nothing like that. We're going to get straight into it. As soon as I arrive, we'll get straight into it. I'll say hello, share my screen. We'll go through a few little rules. Not that there are loads of rules, but things like, if you're going to share your images, make sure you don't share the photographs, because that's what people pay to join in the Zoom for. What's another thing that we say is, oh yeah, embrace the scribble, embrace the mess. That's another rule. You've got to embrace the mess. Obviously, if you're doing the live session, don't forget that even though we're doing timed sessions in the live, if you watch the recording, you can always go in and pause the session. And what I've started to do recently, I've started to collate all of the images that I've used into a printable PDF, which I'll post up as well with the recording. So if you want to take the images somewhere else where you don't have access to a computer, you can print out your little PDF of all the images, and then you can take that and practice spending a bit longer on them. You don't have to do time sketches. I'm not a zealot when it comes to time sketches. I really like time sketches because I think it brings out a lot of character and a lot of expression, and it's helped me to be less fearful of making a mess. Or making scribbles and making, quick decisions about a drawing. But, there is a place to spend a bit more time on a drawing as well. And sometimes it is nice to noodle over a drawing. That's fine. So just because it's the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club and we're doing quick sketches, you can always go into the recording and spend longer on them. So you can pause them, or you can, like I say, go into that PDF and print it out and spend a lot longer on it. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. But yeah, so bear in mind there's no cameras have to be on, no mics have to be on, so you can come and be as anonymous as you like. But I'm going to get on and make that slideshow. So I think this is where I'm going to leave this video now, because I think I've rambled on quite a lot today. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. So until then, bye.